You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, which is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
They say you're never too old to learn something new, and Jason is living proof of that.
Well, it's easy to learn something new, especially when it's something that you're passionate about. And it's real easy when your professor is basically a genius. I've been captivated by the idea that you bring science to fishing.
Well, that was my background. I was a wildlife biology, fishery science major at North Carolina State. I was a research biologist for the Maryland DNR for a couple of years. Fish are creatures of habit. What they do and how they act can be explained by science. First, you got to learn why fish behave the way they do, and then you take that and you apply it to your home territory. Yes, so in the morning they were up in as shallow as 4 or 5 feet of water. It's 55-degree water, which isn't that cold, but it's still cold enough for sound to travel a long ways. And then as the sun got up and the morning progressed, they went out a little deeper. We found them in 20-something feet of water, and then we found them in about 25 feet of water, and then it started blowing 30.
You're finding that there's a lot of people that are coming to you and saying, hey, I want to be able to enjoy this more.
Right.
And so you're giving them the tools that they need with the School of Rockfish.
I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, I got a boat, I go out, I never catch anything. And there's really nowhere for them to go to learn. I mean, if you want to learn how to play golf, you call up your local driving range pro and say, hey, I want to sign up for 10 golf lessons. But for fishing, I've never heard of a fishing instructor before. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and it's a very underserved market. Whew.
That's a good one. Pretty hefty. Yep.
One of the lessons that you taught me today was the concentration of where the food is and how it gets there with the tide and the bank and being pushed up against there from 10 feet of water to 2 feet, and all of a sudden you've got all, and so that's where the fish are going to go before the tide moves them somewhere else. And it makes sense, not just say it, but I needed to hear that because I couldn't put 2 and 2 together with that.
Sure, the fish want to sit in the highest density of food, expending the least amount of energy. How do you compact food? How does one part of the water column have more food than the other? Well, there's 2 ways. It can be done by the topography of the land. When the tide intersects a peninsula and compresses the food against that peninsula, and then that tide has to go around to continue up the river, that whole shoreline is what we call in the direct current, and any structure on that shoreline is going to be holding fish because it's the highest density of food, and they're sitting behind a piece of structure that they're not expending all that energy out in the direct current like they are.
And I'm going to take lesson 1 from you today, and I'm going to apply that for when I go out on my own. And I'm going to study those tides and the wind and really try to apply the lesson of today going forward.
I want you to understand the concepts behind fishing so you can go out and take what I teach you and find your own fishing spot. I learn stuff from all fishermen when I go out, most days, you know. I love fishing with great fishermen because you learn new stuff.
And for those folks who want to learn new stuff from you, how do they do that?
I have a website. It's called the school-of-rockfish.com, and you can contact me via email. My cell phone's on there and everything.
Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.